nothing can shake me, 'cause I know life took a hold of me. I never. This is where I am destined to be. I'm not ready to give up. I believe in the miracle of life.
Life's a play with no rehearsal. And for your role. Cause the devil is a lie, eh? I'm telling you the truth, eh? It's all in what you do, eh? So what you gotta do, hey. Barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. So I had the chance to listen to a Champ Side's interview with Shakur Stevenson. And if you haven't, just go to Champ Side and check it out. It's one of his last 10 videos if you're going to watch this video tonight or tomorrow night. And it reminded me of conversations I've had with some of my closest friends or my intimate circle of influence. And I said, when is the world going to take my kids' joy away? You know, there's going to be a point where the world is not going to be fair to my son or daughter, and I'm just going to have to sit them down and have them understand the realities of life and the negative and positive influences that we have on this earth. And whether it be racial or whether it just be negative human spirit, you understand what I'm saying? And that's kind of what I got from Shakur Stevenson. 22, 23 years old, fresh face, reminds me of my son a lot. And he said something prior to them talking about him being promoted. He said he just got done watching the fight. He says, I eat, sleep, and breathe box. I shadow box all the time. And his joy is what I remember about the first half of that interview. And I was excited and refreshed to hear someone not ever mention money and just talk about the pure joy of boxing, man. Again, this video is on Champ Side, but I'm going to play some clips for you. In the middle part is where I want to get to it. And I don't want Shakur Stevenson to lose his joy, so I'm going to get ahead of the cart. People going to say I'm hating. People going to say I'm influenced. I don't give a damn. I told y'all 18 months Terrence Crawford would come to this point where he and ESPN will not be seeing eye to eye, right? I told you guys this. I watch ESPN since Thursday. I have yet to see a commercial for his fight against fried green tomato. I haven't seen it. As a matter of fact, I just watched the fight tonight on the app. Not one Triple B versus fried green tomato commercial. Not one. But I did see the February 22nd date. I did see December 7th. He's fighting that 126 Mexican kid that's taking the world by storm a little bit. Narate, he's fighting. But I didn't see December 14th. I didn't see it. Not one time on ESPN Plus tonight. So let me digress, and I want you guys to listen to these clips. And shout out to Champ Side and go subscribe to his channel. But listen to this audio. And this is Shakur Stevenson talking about the lack of promotion with he and ESPN and the lack of connection with him, his team, and ESPN in the proper way to promote him.
So what can you really, so okay, so now that you know that, what can you do about it? I mean, do you go next time and say, look, this is how it's gonna go? But I mean, how do you actually get the improvement when you see stuff like this? Like, are you pushing on your team? Like, look, I need to be promoted better.
That's really the main thing. Talking to my team and going from there. But I definitely ain't like that. I kind of feel like that was terrible. Like, I feel like I'm too good for stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know. It feel like they disrespecting me. Like, I don't know. That's how I take it. Like, I take it as disrespect because it's like y'all not appreciating what y'all got.
Hey, damn. Wow, that was a hell of a clip. Shout out to Champ Side for getting that exclusive with Shakur Stevenson. Oh, that was powerful, man. And people gonna say, see, Andre Ward is gonna use like clever pronouns and verbs and nouns and adjectives and you know soliloquies and say I'm hating. No, I'm not. This is pure out of love. And I have no ill will towards Shakur Stevenson. I've been a bigger fan of him ever since he won the silver medal and he left his heart and soul in that post fight interview. I've been a big fan of his, whether he knows it or not. It's not important to me. Um, I'll just say this: y'all better jump in front of this before it gets worse. Before Shakur Stevenson starts visibly getting angry, and there's nothing you can do about it because his contract is so deep and so strong that you can't get out of it. Um, it's very apparent that ESPN has great difficulty promoting young black fighters. Shit, black fighters, because I didn't see not one commercial for Triple B versus Fried Green Tomato. I didn't see it. And I've been watching ESPN since Thanksgiving. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, consistently. You know, I've had friends and family at my house every day since Wednesday night, you know, and watched the fight tonight on the app. Didn't see not one commercial. So I think it needs to be understood. I believe that you need to leave your emotions at the door. I think you need to leave your Shakur Stevenson, you need to listen to me. Um, you need to tell everyone to leave their job titles on the other side of the door. Whether you're working for ESPN, you have a promoter's deal with ESPN, and we need to have a conversation. What's my goal? What are your goals for me in 2020? What are your goals for me in 2021, 22, and 23? You need to have a 5-year plan, Shakur. And um, it has to make sense. You need to figure out how you can hit a double on ESPN. You need to figure out how you can hit a double. I mean, a single, double, triple, and a home run, whatever fights or moves they are. Because if you don't get that Josh Warrington fight, I mean, you got the belt by chance because Oscar Valdez didn't want to fight you, so he moved up to 130. But if Oscar Valdez would have stayed at 126, they would have found a way for him to duck you. And we all know that to be true. But I just want this to be I want to be very straightforward, no truth. I mean, all truth serum, very concentrated with this video. I'm not attempting to be divisive. Shakur Stevenson, he's too young for that. I want really to wrap your arms around him. Whoever his team is, wrap your arms around him. I've never met his coach, but Coach K, I've never met him. Andre Ward, I believe, is his lead manager. And Jay Prince is on his team as well. And y'all need to figure out a plan for this blue chip champion. I mean, I think he's very talented. I think he's highly skilled. I think he's exceptionally marketable. And they're going to have to find a way. And everyone has deals on the other side of that door. And Shakur Stevenson, I mean, from fighting wise, it says he has the greatest team on paper, right? You know, you got Olympic gold medalists, you got undefeated, unified, undisputed world champions, you got trainer of the years. It sounds good on paper. But who's the chief? It looks good on paper, but everyone seems to be an Indian. You know, and why I say that is because Andre Ward never had he never was free and clear in terms of promotions. I've seen Andre Ward from his first punch, his first jab as a pro. He's always had challenging opposition as it relates to his promoters. Triple B has had, well, I mean, it's very apparent, man. If they don't show not one commercial on with a concentrated audience, you understand what I'm saying? That pretty much tells it right there. Um, and who's the other one? Those are the major two, right? And then so you got to take all this into account. So they're all a team, right? It's very apparent when you watch the Instagram stories, especially during fight week, you can totally tell that they're close. But who's going to step in and be a chief? It takes a person with my aptitude and my toughness to say, listen, this shit ain't working. We got to come up with a plan so Shakur Stevenson can be our home run hitter. We need him to back cleanup. Shakur Stevenson is a prized possession. He's gonna. I'm not even worried about his skill set because his brain, his aptitude, his mental and his cerebral aptitude is so high. I have no concerns about him in the ring and him having the ability to make adjustments. But what I do have concerns is he getting the apex financial reward for his skill set? And the answer is absolutely not. He's a long way away from $1 million paycheck, and you take that into account. Devin Haney has surpassed him. Devin Haney has never went to the Olympics, fought in Mexico, and yet with one check has made 3 or 4 times what Shakur Stevenson has made. You won 3 times. You understand what I'm saying? So, and I don't want to make this about Devin Haney's paycheck versus Shakur Stevenson. I'm just talking about where Shakur Stevenson is versus where I believe he should be. You understand? This ain't no comparative analysis against. You understand what I'm saying? What's going to be done? I only can speak the truth from my platform, and I know they're going to watch this video. I know it's going to reach somebody, and somebody's going to have to make sense of this, because next year, Shakur Stevenson's probably going to fight twice next year. He should be fighting 3 or 4 times a year, especially if he's trying to hold on to 126. You got to keep him active. Every 3 months would be great. Lomachenko is untouchable. He's only going to put Burchelt in there against a Mexican. I can tell by that tonight. Oscar Valdez would be a great opponent for him if he moves up to 130. But if he does not get that 126 fight against, what's the other kid? Man, what's that kid's name? Josh Warrington. He needs to call out Navate. That's a good fight for him. That's a great fight for the network. That's a really good fight to keep us engaged. But there's enough fighters surrounding Shakur Stevenson where he should be able to get a very good fight. Like, there's so many fights he can get. You understand? And that's just the truth. And if I'm Shakur Stevenson, if I only got 1 more year left at 126, you can't fight Lopez, the kid who just lost tonight. You can't fight Isaac Dogbe. No, because your first fight at 130 you need to be making $1 million at your first fight at by the time you hit your first fight at 130. You understand what I'm saying? And if you understand business, you like, man, Fred, you're right. He done put the work in. He's already a unified 126-pound champion. Undefeated, unified. When he moves up to 130, he should move right in. Oscar Valdez will be a great opponent at 130 because he'll be done. He'll be like an Abner Mares type of fighter. You understand, where he still carries weight, but he's definitely not as good as he used to be. Got a lot of war wounds on him, and he'll be like perfect pickings for a young, graceful, athletic, prime fighter like Shakur Stevenson. And then they move on from there. But Andre Ward and them going to have to make a decision. You know what I mean? None of them, everyone in that clan has never been a superstar. They've been great boxers, great talents, great accolades. But no one, if you look at that circle of influence, one of those 3 guys should have been a megastar. And why they wasn't a megastar? Listen to me carefully. They didn't know how to conduct themselves um, in the ring and minimize the value of having great business decisions outside the ring for an entire career. You understand what I'm saying? So, um, and I'm only speaking the truth, guys. I'm only speaking my truth. You guys feel free to disagree, but 2 years from now, if Shakur Stevenson is still with Top Rank, you gonna see the truth come out. And as I told you guys, I said when I started doing the videos on Chance Crawford, I said in 2 years, y'all gonna realize that I was just speaking out of love. And Triple B's fans gonna owe me an apology, a huge apology. Bomac right now owes me a huge apology because there was not one commercial on ESPN Plus about the fight. They definitely promoted Navante, and they definitely promoted Tyson Fury versus Deontay, our champion Wilder. You know what I mean? So, anyways, man, again, I'm going to say this again. If Andre Ward is listening, he should be thanking me for this video because I have said something that he has yet to say publicly. And he cannot say this publicly because he works for ESPN. And that's the problem that Shakur Stevenson is going to have. Does Andre Ward protect his job at the end of the day or protect Shakur Stevenson? Andre Ward. Come on, for real. Andre, I'm going to tell you how real this shit is. Next week, in 2 weeks, Andre Ward has to call a fight where, what's the guy's name? God damn. Teofimo Lopez Sr.'s dad called Shakur Stevenson's trainer a nigga. He has to call that fight. So that tells you who's in charge, ESPN. Because I'll keep it a buck. I ain't calling no fight like that. And if I do, I'm going to destroy him as eloquently and as precisely and as Hannibal Lecter as I can. You know what I mean? Slicing a piece of the brain, and you know what I mean? I'll carve him up, you know? But these are decisions that Andre Ward has to make and has to live with. You know, understand? And I ain't throwing darts, just speaking facts, just speaking truth. You saw him on ESPN tonight. He works for ESPN. How can he? So he's going to tell Shakur Stevenson, be patient. And so he should be patient like Andre Ward, who people on the East Coast don't even know who Andre Ward is. He never fought on the East. Get what I'm saying? Big fights. You understand what I'm saying? People only know him. He's only fought in Vegas twice in his whole career. And that was against Sergey Kovalev. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think he's ever fought at Madison Square Garden. He's never really had a home. His fans only showed out to half an arena. I'm not throwing shade. I'm building my story so you guys can understand that the predicament that Shakur Stevenson may very well be in 2 years. And this is just the realities of it, you know. And I would hate for him not to be compensated for his shit. I mean, if he was a baseball player, he would be a 5'2" player. If he was an NBA player, he would be the first pick in the draft. If he was an NFL football player, he would be Lamar Jackson. And he's left-handed, right? Lamar Jackson left-handed. And he will be left-handed. So, I mean, that's the type of talent that Shakur Stevenson is. And whether they want to believe me or not, I told you this would happen with Triple B. Yeah, I didn't want to listen to me. So we're going to see moving forward, man. I've given you all the answers. You got a lot of Indians in your team. Who's going to be a chief? Who's going to say, because you can't look at Triple B and say, how do I do this? When he's accepting the same detrimental position that he's in. And how can you look at Andre Ward when he gets a cut of your check as long as he's on ESPN, because that's the deal, and he has a, what do you call that, commentary deal with ESPN. it's a tough decision, man. It's a tough decision. You know what I mean? That's why I chose. I mean, tough decisions you got to make. A tough decision I had to make. Do I want credentials or no? No, I don't want them. It makes me a better man. It makes me a better media member. If you want to call me whatever you want. It makes me better. It enhanced my voice. It made me stronger. Decisions you got to make in life. I mean, and honestly, that wasn't a tough decision. You know what I mean? So, so yeah, man. Barbershop conversation. Oh, yeah. Damn. I forgot about this clip too. But I'll just do it for another video. Barbershop conversations. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.